The times have changed, the times are strange. Here I come, but I ain't the same. Mama, I'm coming home. And that was Ozzy Osbourne. And this is episode 25 of Half the Story Podcast. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It is October 13th, 2019. Beautiful October 13th. Fall is here, and it's not disappointing at all. Like I said earlier in my past podcast, October's showing out, doing the damn thing. Let me just this. Okay. Yeah, October, living up to the hype of the best month of the year. So, yeah, we're already dang near halfway through, but your boy's on vacation now. So as of yesterday afternoon, I am on a nice long, I think I have 15 days, 14 days, 15, 16 days off, somewhere around there. So I got the next 2 weeks off from work. That's why I'm so jacked up right now. And I just had a Mountain Dew because I'm on vacation, and I'm jacked up off that too. So super excited to be on vacation. Actually leave tonight on a plane. So we're flying out of Portland tonight at 11:59 p.m. So that's a late flight. We'll be flying through the night, but my mom sent me this cool thing that there's like this orange moon out tonight or something. So that could be cool to see as we fly out once we get above the clouds. Maybe see a moon or something like that through the window. Yeah, so I'm jacked about that. Yeah, so we leave for vacation tonight. Not many people vacation to the great state of Iowa, but we are doing that. So we'll be in Iowa the next 2 weeks. I don't think I'll get a podcast out. If I do, it might be a low quality one. I'm not going to bring my mic and my headset and stuff like that. But maybe I can do something. We'll see if I get bored or something like that. I'm going to bring my computer, so I can always use what I got and get something up at least. But yeah, I'm jacked. We're on vacation. Christy's just finishing up. She's got to work today till tonight, and then we're going straight to the airport, straight on the plane, straight to Minneapolis. Hanging out in Minneapolis a little bit tomorrow before we're heading back to Iowa. So super jacked about that. Going to be interesting flying overnight though. Definitely. Hopefully we can get some sleep. I don't have any of the masks or anything like that. The little like eye cover masks that old ladies wear. But I do have headphones, so maybe that can cancel out some noise. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of people are on the plane at midnight. Especially in October. Is it? No, today's not Friday. Yeah, today's not Friday the 13th. It's Sunday the 13th. But yeah, hopefully the pilots stay awake overnight and we make it there safe and sound at 5. I think we land at like 5:30 in Minneapolis, something like that. So yeah, pretty excited about that. Yeah, flying planes is always kind of exciting. I feel like it's like a rich thing. It makes you feel like rich. I feel like if you're flying in a plane, because a lot of people, like I didn't fly, I think I flew on a plane like once or twice growing up. And then I've flown on a plane like, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This will be my 4th time as an adult male. That I've flown on a plane. So this might be my 6th time, but it always feels kind of special. You always feel like cool going to the airport. And I know some people are probably like, I have to fly all the time for work. So it's like a hassle kind of, but it's still kind of exciting for me because it makes me feel like I'm a rich person, I guess, because rich people fly and stuff. So Definitely not going to be in first class, but I got a lot of treats and little snacks to bring on the plane too. So excited about having some candy and stuff on the plane, and hopefully get some shut eye, and hopefully there's no weird people on the plane overnight. Um, so yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, it always makes you feel kind of ritzy when you fly in a plane or take a vacation and you're going on a plane, especially in the Midwest because there's not really that many good airports, that are within a few hours. So you always got to go like 3 to 5 hours to get to an airport and do all that. So yeah, it's nice. We live like 15, 20 minutes away from the airport here. So easy hop, skip, and a jump away. Get on that. So right now I'm kind of multitasking. So I'm doing this podcast. I wanted to get one out before we're leaving. I've also got NFL Red Zone on in front of me, tracking my fantasy team. There's a lot going on today. I do have Stephon Diggs on my fantasy team, and he is digging a grave for my opponent because he's had 3 touchdowns this game. So I should be able to pull out the win this week, and that would put me at 4-2 at the year on my fantasy. So I'm doing pretty good. Hanging in there. So yeah, I got the footballs on. Nice little lazy Sunday, hanging out with Walt. Last time I'm going to see him for a couple weeks because he's going to be staying here in Portland with a coworker. She's going to be watching him. So I'm excited about that. Going to miss the little guy. Yeah, speaking of Walt though, but he had like a little bit of a scab under his ear kind of developed recently. So I took him to the vet and they like shaved it, and he must have scratched himself and it got infected. And then they were telling me how bad his teeth are and stuff, and he's got to get teeth pulled eventually because he has really bad breath. So little bugger's getting a little expensive, if you know what I mean. But he needs to start getting a job or paying rent or something, like working part-time at least to pay for his medical bills. But he's in good health. Got some ointment, got some pills, and maybe we'll get the dental stuff worked out here in the next 6 months. See what we got to do. But yeah, pugs are, think of like a great white shark, but they ran into a door and their head was flat and scrunched up, but they still had all the teeth. That's what a pug's like. So, I mean, if you take a head of a pug and then like you scrunch it up even more, but it still has all the teeth of a regular dog, and that's kind of what they told me. That's kind of what's going on with his teeth. So, gonna have to see the dentist, the dog dentist, at some point, and maybe the tooth fairy will come and get some treats or something like that. But his breath stinks, and he needs to get a job or something to help pay for his bills because they're getting expensive. But love the guy, would do anything for him, so within reason, of course. And gonna miss him. It's gonna be the longest we've been away from Walter. I know I sound like a parent kind of, but I mean, really, I just have Walter and Christy here, my brother. So I hang out with him a lot. So gonna miss the guy for 2 weeks, and he'll be well taken care of, and get to hang out with his new girlfriend Chai, who's like part Chihuahua ish. So he'll be hanging out and doing dog stuff and things like that, being cool and stuff. And yeah, we'll see him in a couple of weeks. I gotta drop him off later today. But yeah, it's always tough leaving a dog behind because I don't have kids yet, but I imagine you don't leave kids behind very often when you go on vacations. But I'm sure it's just as hard, if not harder, to leave your kids. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's easy, If you're leaving them with family and stuff, maybe it's easy. But who knows? We'll see. What was I talking about? Yeah, so we leave tonight, get there, and then we're back in town. We're going to go up to Milwaukee, I think next weekend for a night or two and hang out, see my buddy and his wife and do some Milwaukee stuff. So I'll be in Milwaukee a little bit, be hanging out and try and see a bunch of people. And yeah, I'm super excited. Got mixed emotions about going home. I'm excited. Really excited to go home. It's going to be kind of a weird feeling. The first time I'm coming home really in my life. It's the first time I've left, home, and this is the first time coming back. So I'm excited to see all the changes and see everyone. And, I'm sure life moves on without us. Of course it does, but excited to see everyone and all the changes to the town and all that kind of stuff. Excited to see family and stuff. But I don't know how I'm going to feel being away from Portland or being home. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see, man, do I really miss home? Or, oh man, I wish I was back in Portland, or, one of those two things. So it's going to be definitely interesting to see how I feel, how we feel. And yeah, I think it'll be interesting, to say the least. I'll let you guys know how I feel when I come back. How about that? We'll talk about that. Because maybe we'll go back and be like, man, we love it here and this is home, but, we're used to Portland now and times have changed and blah, blah, blah. Or maybe we'll go there and then come back and be like, man, I wish we were back there, blah, blah, blah. So interesting to think about. Since this is the first time coming back home. So schedule's filling up though. I feel like we're getting a lot of stuff planned to do. So yeah, got to try and see as many people as we can while we're there. Try and do as much fun stuff as we can as well. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, back to football though. I've been watching football all day and my fantasy team's doing great. So excited, man. Football season is awesome. I think last time I talked about coaching football when I coached at Pete Junior High. That was a lot of fun. I was thinking about that this week as well, coaching football. Oh yeah, what did I do this week? Oh, this week still kind of on shutdown mode at work, so I had to float all week. So I spent like half days at my facility and then floated to a bunch of other different facilities. So I got a bunch of paid drive time. I was able to go back to Hillsborough twice this week. So I did get to see, all my regular therapists there and all my friends and stuff there. So that was nice. It was, it's weird coming back to places, and this is what it's going to be weird going back home. You just realize how quickly things move on and people move on and life moves on and it keeps going without you. Like when I went back and saw everyone, like everyone was like, oh my gosh, hey, how are you doing, like that? But then like after that initial, burst of excitement wears off, it's kind of back to squid pro row or whatever they say. Whatever Donald Trump tried to say the other day. Quad pro row. Yeah, so it's cool, but then really cool at first, the homecomings and stuff like that. But then who knows? We'll see. Yeah, because there's always that like strange feeling, especially when you go back to a job that you left and then you come back. It's always got that like the ex-girlfriend kind of feel or ex-boyfriend kind of feel. Like everyone that sees you come back is like, okay, he's back, or like they always come back. Like we'd have like when I worked at Subway through college and high school and even after college, people would come and go from Subway, and old reliable, the Subway people, they'd come back and start working, and what was I talking about? And then yeah, they'd always come back and be like, they always come back, come crawling back. And that's kind of how I felt going back to Hillsborough. even though I was just floating there. But like they're excited to see me, but at the same time, there's still that like feeling of, oh, he's back. Like, come crawling back. I think Dalvin Cook just scored a touchdown, who I have on my fantasy as well. So being blessed this week by the Viking gods. They're scoring a lot of points. So yeah, it's always a little crazy going back because it's always that initial like, oh man, this is so awesome, but then it's like, oh, the world moved on without me. So kind of makes you feel bad a little bit about yourself, but I think that's just normal, to be honest. Yeah, what else? Yeah, going back there. I don't know if we talked about. We went to a pumpkin patch this past week. So that was fun. I think I talked about that already. Oh yeah, I'm just excited to be home. It's been the longest I've been away from family my whole life. So it's going on, what, 10 months? About 10 and a half months right now. So almost a whole calendar year since I've been back and seen the family. So definitely Spider-Man Homecoming, the movie. So, yeah. Oh, also today, big news that I'm sure everyone cares about, but Fortnite is it's not dead. I would say it's not dead. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if there's any updates. So Fortnite has like seasons. So every like 3 months, a new season comes out of Fortnite. And it's a video game. It's just like changes in the video game every season. But like Fortnite season 10 ended, and like the whole game kind of blew up. And like there's this big event going on that the game like ended. And like it just like, if you were in the game, it just like the whole game like sucked itself out. And then it's just a black screen with a little like light in the middle of it, like a little glowing light. So like everyone on Twitter's like, rest in peace, or Fortnite. Like Fortnite's dead. Obviously, they're gonna be coming out with I think they called it Fortnite Chapter 2, which is just probably a new map. So the whole game, it started with a game, and the map is constantly changing, but it's the same map. And it, like from season 1 to season 10, the map changed and evolved. It was still the same map though, so there's still some spots that never changed. Like, you know, it's kind of like a Monopoly board. Like, there's like the Avengers Monopoly, Stranger Things Monopoly, but it's all the same thing, you know. But now I think there's going to be a new map. That's the word on the street. And there'll probably be big changes to the game, which I'm excited about. Although even I don't play that much anymore, to be honest. But it is exciting. Whatever they're doing it right because they're making a lot of money, and a lot of people are making money off the game. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what happens with that. Kind of sucks that I'm leaving right now because I'll be gone for 2 weeks. So whatever changes happen in the game, I won't get to play them. So unless I brought my PlayStation home, but I probably don't need to do that. So. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Okay, I'll keep you guys updated on that. I'm sure I'll be a few weeks behind though when I let you know, but definitely be interesting to see what they do with the game and see what happens. It'd be funny. Like, there's some people out there that's like, Fortnite's just gonna leave. They just took all your money and now they're just gonna leave and not play or not like create the game or anything like that. That'd be a power move, but there's still so much money that they can make off that game. I doubt they would do that. So, you know what? That's kind of cool. Halloween's coming up. Don't have a costume picked out yet. I kind of want to be Hopper from Stranger Things. Hopper, season 3 Hopper with the Hawaiian shirt and like the denim. Not the denim, like the pants, like when he goes on a date, or when he gets ready for the date, and then the mustache. So that's what I want to be for Halloween, I think. And then, what else? Oh, speaking of Netflix too, the Breaking Bad movie came out yesterday or the day before. El Camino, Jesse Pinkman movie. Gonna watch it last night, but got to be too late. It's a 2 hour movie apparently, so we didn't get to dive into that. Which, man, that would have been cool to do and talk about that because that's my favorite television series, TV show series. Yeah, I think that's my all-time favorite TV show. And actually, Walter, my pug, is named after Walter White, so that's how he got his name from Breaking Bad. Bryan Cranston's character, Walter White. So, a little backstory on Walter. I was either going to name him Mumbles, or Walter, after Walter White. Ended up going with Walter. So, yeah, a little backstory on that little bad boy pug. Yeah, but I definitely going to watch that movie over the vacay and let you guys know what I think about that. Excited about that. Been watching some more scary movies. Been watching a lot of the show The Dead Files on Hulu. And I think it's on TLC TLC or one of the or Travel. No, it's on Travel Channel, I think. What's it called? I just said it. Shoot, I can't remember. Dead Files. Yeah, Dead Files. Dude, you should watch that show on Hulu because it's kind of crazy. I was super into like ghost hunting and stuff when I was a little bit younger, like 19, 20. I used to watch Ghost Adventures all the time. That show with Zach Baggins, and I was super hyped about that. And then like me, my sister, and a couple of her friends went to Villisca, Iowa, and stayed the night at the Axe Murder Villisca house. Dude, that place was scary because it's like an old house / like museum, but it's a house where this family got murdered, killed by an axe by some guy or something like that. And the house is like hadn't been touched since. So it's like when you walk in, it's like walking into like a time machine kind of. So like you walk in the house and it's all like 19 let me look that up, Chin. It's in Villisca, Iowa. Villisca Axe Murders. 1912. On June 10th, 1912, some family was killed. The 6 members of the in June 10th and 11th, or whatever, the night of that 10th, 6 members of the Moore family and 2 house guests were found bludgeoned in the house. All 8 victims, including 4 children, had severe head wounds from an axe. And this was in one house, so 8 people, so 6 family members, and then there's like two little kids staying over from the neighbor's house that were spending the night. All 8 of those people were found dead in the house in this little ass town in Iowa. And they never found out who did it. It's this little town. There's like some there's some like people that thought it was the like the priest. Other people thought it was like this person that was just passing through town. But I mean, this is like, even now it's a small town in Iowa. Like, let's see. Even now, in 2010, the census was 1,200 people. So back in 1910 or 1912, you got to imagine that town had 300 people in it, at most, something like that. So it's a super tiny ass town. And these 8 people were killed by an axe by someone, and they never found out who did it. And the house is like super haunted and stuff. So back when I was younger, we had like ghost hunting equipment and stuff like that, kind of, but not really. We're just amateurs. My sister and her husband and a couple of friends, we went there and spent the night, and it was like super cold because it was in October. I remember it was in October. It was probably a night just like tonight, to be honest. But it was like super cold in the house because there's no heat. And like you go in the house and it's a time machine house in the sense that everything's like 1912 or 1912-ish looking. Like there's no like laptops sitting around or anything like that. So you go in there, there's not like electricity. I think there is electricity, but you just like when you ghost hunt, you just go into empty houses and like sit there and like talk to yourself, but you're trying to talk to someone else and like waiting for something like something to start creaking or like footsteps to be upstairs or something like that when there's no one upstairs. Or I remember we tried playing like because there were so many kids that died that other people had like if you brought like a ball like I was just like kids like soccer ball or like the balls that you see at Walmart that everyone jumps in the ball pits, like those little like they weigh like an ounce, those kind of balls, like if you get those and put them like on the floor they'll start rolling around like and you're like if there's any spirits here like push this ball towards me, it's gonna be crazy. Like so you'd like sit there and we'd all like be sitting around watching a ball on the floor and like waiting for it to move on its own. I can't remember if anything happened, but then we also had these like little digital recorders and like you'd like talk and ask questions and then like no one would answer and then like you're supposed to go back and like not record the footage but because you're already recording it, but go back and listen to the like audio and like see if you can hear like spirits voices. And I never did that. I only started doing it, but I thought I heard something in one of them. But I don't know where that digital recorder is, to be honest. But yeah, we went there and stayed the night, and it was super cold and super creepy too, like really creepy. But they don't do overnight stays anymore, so yeah, it's weird. It's just this big sign that says Villisca Axe Murder House, and it's like in a neighborhood, and like people just go there and yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So Ghost Adventures went there one time and did an episode like that. But then we've been watching a lot of the show Dead Files, and Dead Files is like two people on the show. One's like a retired New York homicide detective who looks like the guy who looks like he'd be like an extra in The Godfather. And then the other one is a chick who's a medium. She talks to dead people and like people call in and are like, my house, my daughter in my house, like we hear sounds and like, we think there's like demons in here and like people are crazy and like it's making me want to kill my kids and stuff like that. So they're like, so then they go and investigate the house and like before they go in the house, they both do separate investigations. Okay. Separate investigations. So the chick goes, the medium goes by herself, and then the homicide detective guy, he's just like a detective, like Sherlock Holmes. And he goes and talks to the family and tries to like dig up background information on the house and like the people that live there. And like if there's any like battles like in the backyard or anything like that. So the detective guy goes and talks to the family and like asks like what's been going on. And they're like, yeah, I've just been like really angry when I'm downstairs and like I wake up with like scratches on me and stuff like that. And he's like, let me see your nails. Like, and then like he asks all these like detective questions and he's like, okay. And then he goes like and meets all these experts in these small ass towns that are like historians of the town are like, I'm asking you about my client's property. Like, was there ever any like KKK rallies or anything like that on the property or like Civil War battles on the property? And then the people are like, well, actually, interesting enough, like there was these two families on the property that, fought each other. And then like before that, there was Native American land where Native Americans lived and stuff like that. And be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then be like, oh, the previous owners too, like one of them killed themselves. after like he gambled away his money or something like that. So then the detective guy's like, all right, I've got enough stuff. Like I've talked to the family, I've talked to like the city, like people that know like the history of the property. And then so then he does his side, and then the medium chick comes in, and before she comes in they like remove any of like pictures of the family or anything like that that would be like clues or anything like that. And she goes in like at nighttime and like walks through and is like immediately there's like this girl running at me hysterically crying and like punching me in the stomach, and like she's like talking to dead people and is like, I think there was like Native Americans here. Like I think there's like definitely like I hear Native Americans. And then she'll be like, but they'll go outside and she'll be like, I feel like there was like army guys in a battle here or something like that. And then she'll like go inside the house and be like, ooh, this room is bad. Like I think someone like hung themselves in this room. I just get like a choking feeling on it. And then she'll be like, ooh, this is really bad. I gotta get out of here. And then they'll be like, do this huge, and then like she'll go and talk to like a police sketch person and like sketch out like one person that she saw or something like that, or like a scene that she saw from dead people or something. And so like a police will do a sketch, and then they meet together. And this show is called Dead Files, if you're still following along. And they meet together with the family at the end, and like she talks about her walkthrough and like talking to ghosts and stuff like that, and like freaks the family out a ton. And like she's like, you know, I got this like Native American vibe. And then like the detective's always like, he does that as soon as she says Native American. He's like, well, actually 200 years ago there was a Native American tribal battle on this ground, and they say people died. And then she's like, okay, that makes sense, and then she'll be like, also on my walkthrough, like I just got this like tight rope feeling around my neck in this one room. And then the detective guy goes, he does that again, and he goes, well, actually the previous owner, and he like pulls out a picture of it. He's like, the previous owner, you know, Terrell Daly, actually hung himself in that room. And she's like, ooh, that makes okay. And then like, so they like freak the family out a bunch. And then what do they do? Oh yeah, and then she's like, I had a sketch drawn of one guy in particular that I feel like is most threatening. And then like she'll like pull out the sketch of like the police sketch, and then it'll be like the same picture of the guy who hung himself or something like that. Pretty much like, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, those two are like identical. And then the family would be like, oh my God, I'm so freaked out. And they'll be like, there is good news though. We're here to help you. And then the family's like, okay, now we know that there's like Native American battles in our backyard, like ghost battles, and like this guy from previously hung himself is like haunting our house. And then they're like, there is good news though. There's good news. We can tell you what to do to help you, but you're not going to find this person. So they're like, what you need to do first is get you need to bring in a male medium, like her, but a male. Or sometimes she'll be like, you'll need to bring in a female medium. Anyway, she'll be like, you'll need to bring in a male medium. They need to be like 6'2" to 6'3", like pretty like authoritative, you know, like a very dominant personality. They have to have a rat tail. And they're going to spend a couple hours here, and hopefully they can help the spirits move on. Or then sometimes she'll be like, you need to bring in a male medium first with all those things I just said. And then next you need to bring in a female medium, and she needs to have past trauma in her life. And she needs to be kind of authoritative too, but also willing to help. And then if you do all those things, then get a priest in here to bless his house. And then within a week, you should know if it worked. And the family's like, okay. I mean, you're here right now. You could maybe help us. And then they're like, oh, good. Now we have answers. Like, we feel like we can live in this house now. And then like at the end, at the end credits, they always say like 3-month update, or like, they're like, at the end, they're like, the text always comes across like, John and Amanda are still looking for a medium. The activity continues. And that's pretty much the show. But it's kind of crazy to watch. I don't know if it's fake or real, but like a lot of the stuff like the medium says and the detective says kind of matches up a lot. So I don't know if they're pulling my finger or not, but they got me because that's a good show. But it's also really cheesy too. On like when she goes to do the police sketch of like the person that she saw, or the ghost that she saw, or like the demon she saw, like every time, like she's like describing the thing, and like the guy's like sketching it for her, and then like at the end the guy's like, is this what you saw? And she like literally every episode, yes, that's what she says. And it's like you can almost like, it's scripted. So hopefully it's real, but hopefully not, because I don't really mess with spirits. I don't like ghosts or anything like that. So hopefully it's not real, but hopefully it is, because that would make the TV show better. So besides that though, man, Halloween's just spooky in general, and it's my favorite time of month. So I think I'm going to get out of here with that. So go check out that show. It's on Hulu. It's called Dead Files. Just watch one episode, dude. They're pretty good. So other than that, I'm excited to be back home this next 2 weeks. Like I said, maybe I'll put up a podcast. Maybe not. I'm not going to bring any of my equipment, just my computer. So if I get bored, I'll do one. If not, I'll be back probably at the end of the month. Take a little vacay. I'm sure I'll have a lot to talk about. I'm going to be taking some notes. So next one that I come up with might be pretty good. So other than that, guys, enjoy yourselves during the holiday season. Get out, do some pumpkin patch, do some haunted houses, get some of them pumpkin spice lattes, and then I'll see you guys when I see you next. This is Half the Story Podcast. As always, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Still haven't even touched Spotify yet. I need to do it. I keep on saying that. Maybe I can do it over the break, over my vacay. But other than that, guys, I'll see you when I see you next. I appreciate the support. As always, give us a like, check us out, share us. But that's all I got for you guys today. Peace out.